What is going on, Guardians? Dwarvrich here, and in this video I will be doing a solo flawless run of the Shattered Throne dungeon as Arcstrider Hunter. This is the final video in a series where I go through every dungeon solo flawless as exclusively Arcstrider, as a follow-up to my build video which I will link in the description below. These runs are all with full walkthrough commentary, so if any of you are looking for a very consistent and safe strategy that you can use to solo flawless all of these dungeons, that is exactly what you're going to find here. As usual, I have slightly modified the build to fit the run that I'm doing. Here I'm using my normal Lucent Blade Lament DPS setup, where I drop Striking Light and Powerful Friends in favor of Lucent Blade and Supercharge to get the Lament hitting 35% harder against the bosses. I'm using the longer grenades and Jolting Grenades arc fragments to make the pulse grenades more potent, and I'm also using Anti-Barrier Scout Rifle, so that we can use our primary scout rifle to shoot through phalanx shields, of which there are many in this dungeon. If you're doing this run in a different season, just use whatever the current anti-barrier primary option is. While I do believe that Shattered Throne is the easiest dungeon to solo flawless, I do not recommend it for somebody going for their first solo flawless because it's so annoying. Between the amount of time that you have to spend traversing between encounters, and the complete lack of rally flags. If you are trying to go for your first solo flawless dungeon, I would recommend Pit of Heresy instead. It's barely more difficult than Shattered Throne, but it's a lot more interesting, and you do have rally flags, so you don't have to worry about running out of ammo between encounters. For this first part, we just need to clear each of these shrines in order by killing the adds in the yellow bar mini-boss, after which it will show us a symbol that points us to the next shrine. Definitely pull up a map for this part if you can, because following a map is a lot faster than running around aimlessly and hoping you happen to find the correct shrine. And even though I have a map pulled up, I am still managing to aimlessly run back and forth a little. I have no sense of direction. Anyway, we are looking for Uwu Snake, which my map says should be just on the other side of this wall over here. Sorry about the weird symbol callouts, by the way. They're the callouts that my clan uses for Last Wish, and once you start calling it Uwu Snake, it's very difficult to stop. And it looks like we've come to the Uwu Snake Shrine. So we're gonna get some combination blow stacks here, and then start punching the mini-boss. I don't want to go too hard on 1-2 punching because I don't have any ammo. Okay, N-Fish is next. The map says it should be just this way. Yep, there it is. Still got several seconds left on combination blow, so we can just punch something here and get a full refresh. And I'm not sure where this yellow bar is. Oh, there he is. Again, normally I'm not this conservative with shotgun ammo, but once we get a green brick, I'll start using it more. After clearing a few more of the adds, it should show us the next shrine. There it is, Infinity Snake. So the map says this should be back towards the middle and all the way up in the back. As long as we keep moving, we won't really have to do anything about those snipers to the left. But we do have to make sure we kill these two phalanxes before they push us out of the map. Taken phalanxes are much less threatening than Cabal phalanxes overall, because while Cabal phalanxes will kill you in one hit if they melee you if there's a wall anywhere behind you, all the Taken phalanxes really do is push you around. But getting pushed around can easily result in death even if you're being careful, so the Taken phalanxes are high priority targets too. This guy's a little tanky to 1-2 punch, and I don't have ammo, so we're just gonna super him. And once he dies, there it is. Our next place is Fire Right. Alright, so it looks like Fire Right is gonna be down this path, and pretty much in a straight line. Might as well get some stacks on the way there. Is this it? Yeah, this is it. Still no shotgun ammo. This is kind of impressive. Okay, he is dead. And now we have Standing Bird. This should be in the opposite corner, so should be able to get there by going back and going past the starting point and then taking the ramp up. I went the completely wrong way. This is Infinity Snake. I think that's it over there. Yep, looks like this is it. So we're out of stacks, so we'll get 3 first, and it looks like we just got a special ammo brick. So we can start actually 1-2 punching now. That is so much more satisfying. 69 fish next, and if I'm counting correctly, that should be the last one before going back to dive bomb. Okay, so we're going the right direction, going past Infinity Snake. 69 fish should be the next one over right here. Yep, looks like this is it. This one's a phalanx mini-boss, so we need to be a little careful, as I was saying. That is a little bit close to going over the edge. Just get behind him and not take any chances. Yep, and back to dive bomb, the starting point. Part of the reason the Lament is so good in this dungeon is because, well, it's a sword, so if something sends you off the map, you can actually pull out the sword and cancel your momentum and send yourself opposite direction back to safety, so long as you react in time. So we should be coming right up on dive bomb now. Yep, that is the mini-boss. Then some ad clear, and we should get the loot, and the floor will open up. There it is. So for this next bit, there are 2 ways to do it. There's the hang back and be safe way, and the run forward through everything way. So normally for solo flawless runs, I'm a huge advocate of the slower, more deliberate, safer method. But in this specific case, the Giga Chad way is actually so safe that I'd recommend doing that instead, just because you save so much time by doing it. So what you're going to want to do down here is punch acolytes and make sure you get up to ×3 combination blow, because we're going to need that by the time we get up the stairs. It's 2 stacks, 3rd stack, and let's run up. Now that we're up here, we'll want to grab Invis and use the Invis to line up an easy kill on the mini-boss. Just going to take this guy out and then position ourselves. 1-2 punch combo. And keep killing stuff until the door opens. Door is opening, so before we go through, we will want to have as fresh of a combination blow timer as possible. So come up here, punch this guy, and start sprinting. As we come through the doors, immediately go to the side. And we're going to roll and punch this guy for invis. Punch this guy too. Jump back to the middle. And keep going. We can punch this phalanx in the front and we'll still get the aftershock kill. Now we can get this guy. Roll punch. So long as we keep chaining our combo properly, we're going to be completely safe, and we can ignore most of the room. Up to the left over here, and we're done. Now this next room coming up, which is the ogres, we're going to do the polar opposite. We're going to hang back and plink them to death with a scout rifle. We have super, so we can super this one. And it looks like that missed, even though I got a damage number. That was odd. It's alright, we'll just take a little bit longer. It's really important to be safe and take these guys out from a distance, because if they shoot you, it doesn't only do damage, it will also push you back. And if you are standing on those beams and you get hit by their pushback projectile, you're probably dead. Alright, they're dead, so now we can move forward until the next ogre spawns. As soon as you hear that sound, turn around. Make sure you get out of the ogre's attack range. And then plink at it with a scout rifle. Okay, he's done. Now we can move forward again. Again, we're going to run forward, and as soon as we hear or see the spawn sound, we're going to turn around. That was an epically failed grenade. He's dead, now we advance again. Right, there's the spawn sound. It is actually possible to take an eager edge sword and just speed through this place faster than the ogres can spawn and track you. But that is not the safe approach that you would want to employ in a solo flawless run. Now from this point, there's just one more double spawn of ogres and we'll be done. I thought I heard something over there, but I was probably imagining it. Be very careful on this jump, take your time. And there's the spawn sound. We're going to be a little closer to this ogre than the rest of them, but we're not quite close enough for it to actually hit us. And then the other one is going to be in that back corner. Again, this is not the fastest way to do this part of the dungeon, but it's incredibly safe. Okay, now we're done with this part, and we can just jump to the end. So coming up is the Thrallway. There's really nothing to say about this. It's free, especially with this build. I started playing Destiny well after this dungeon came out, but I would imagine that at the time of release, this part might have actually been threatening. But as things are now, we just punch our way through. At least the soundtrack is nice, the music pops off here. And now we're out of the slowing field. I have a few more thralls here. Up here we're going to have a choice between playing the floor is lava or playing don't get hit by a boop cannon. I'm going to elect to play the floor is lava. You want to jump up over here. Take out the phalanx. And then drop down and go into the left. Now, even though the floor is lava, you can stand on the floor for several seconds before it will actually kill you. So that's what makes this much safer than the boop cannons, because if you get hit by a boop cannon, you're most likely dead. If you fall onto the floor here, you'll just take a little bit of damage. You'll have to jump back up. There are going to be a lot of phalanxes over here, and this is precisely why we want to bring an anti-barrier weapon. It allows us to shoot straight through the phalanx shields and take them out very conveniently. Part of why I find this dungeon so annoying is that the majority of the time you spend in this dungeon is moving between encounters. By the time you get to the first proper encounter, which is the ogre boss, you're almost done with the dungeon. I guess it's really cool the first time you go through this blind, but after that it gets a little tiresome. Alright, that is all phalanxes down, so now we just drop down a few levels and fight the ogre boss. The thing with playing this build in this dungeon is that the actual combat encounters are the safest parts of the dungeon. The only things that actually present any real risk of death are the traversal sections where there's a small risk of falling. So we're just going to wait over here for the first wizard to spawn. I'm going to punch this guy to death. That'll give us 1 stack of Petitioner's Mark out of 4 that we need to start damage. We're just going to grab 3 stacks of Combination Blow and then work our way around the room, taking out the wizards. We have 45 seconds every time we pick up another stack of Petitioner's Mark before we have to have killed the next wizard, so we really have all the time in the world to just play it safe, clear everything out. If this is stack number 3. We get a long invis from killing the wizards because they are yellow bars. Stack number 4 will give us Petitioner's Burden, which we will take over here. Lost track of where it was for a second. Dunk, and then DPS. So we're going to grenade the boss, super, go in with the Lament. He's going to die super fast. Get almost dead already. One more combo should do it. And there we go. Now all that's left is running past a bunch of stuff and fighting the final boss, which will probably take even less time than the ogre. So this is really important. We're coming up on the Wishender statue. Always make sure you high-five her on the way past, because Wishender is awesome. She deserves the high five. So between here and the end of the dungeon, the only thing that can really kill you is falling. So make sure you don't break your ankles and you'll be good. We don't have to kill any of these wizards up here. We're just going to run past them and jump straight into the elevator. They're not even going to notice us. Look at that, stealth level 100. Every time you take one of these elevators, do make sure you pay attention to where you're going to land. Sometimes the elevators will try to drop you in a stupid spot, and you'll need to make sure you don't land in said stupid spot. The only reason we're not running past these guys here is so that we can punch them and become invisible so we can run past the rest of the guys. Up the elevator, make sure you land in the right place. thing that taken captains do where they make you blind makes me nervous, so I'm just going to shoot this guy from up here. Punch stuff to get invisible so we can run past the rest of the stuff. And up here we're going to have the second thrallway, which is even easier than the first thrallway because in this one you can sprint. Alright, so even though we could just run through this without killing anything, we will want to build up 3 stacks of combination blow for what comes immediately after. Right, that's 3. 1 more refresh. Yeah, now it's time to punch some phalanxes so they don't boop us off the map. We can run past these 2. And then these ones get to die. Now for these boop cannons, just take it slowly and deliberately. Wait until you have an opening, and then once you start moving, don't hesitate. If you do mess up and get pushed a little bit off the edge, be ready to pull out the sword and sword swipe yourself back. Right, and from this point forward, the rest of the dungeon is completely free. Now the way we're going to do this is we will grenade and super the knights, go to the left where those scions are going to spawn, clear them out. While that happens, our super should kill all of the knights, or nearly kill all of them. So we'll finish that one off, pick up the stacks of finite thought, and go in with the lament and one phase this boss. The Lament's lifesteal will easily keep us alive, so we can just lay into this thing with our damage buff. One more combo should do it. I missed the heavy attack. And she is dead. That was a solo flawless run of the Shattered Throne dungeon as Arcstrider Hunter. You can find a full video breakdown of the build in the description below, as well as a dim link for the exact configuration that I used for this run. Drop a like if you found this video helpful or entertaining, and if you want to see more Destiny 2 content, including endgame build videos, consider subscribing to the channel. Although this video is the conclusion of the Arcstrider Solo Flawless Dungeon series, enough people have expressed interest in seeing this redone on other classes that I'm probably going to do that in the near future. I have yet to decide though which class I'm going to do it on first between Warlock and Titan, so if you have a preference, please let me know in the comments below which one you want to see first. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one, Guardians.